What the fuck going on, man? Fact, man. Gang. Alright, bet. Now, look, I'm gonna see this over what I'm done. Say, man, Zell, man, fire that dope, bitch. Yeah, no smoke with that boy. Alright, man. Facts, man. Yo! Dress swinging over my face just like a rock star. I don't like lurking, I'm trying to up score in these pussy boys. Niggas hiding, they won't come outside, and this shit starting to get annoying. We up the score and string, knowing y'all ain't got nothing for us. Choppers, Glock, and Max, and Ticks, plus we got ARs. These niggas soft, but we got hard seals who wanna play hard. He shot my eye before I seen him, so he got paid for it. I wasn't even in the city and still got blamed for it. Let's go. Who won't smoke with the gang? We gon' bring that dope. Real ones, we gon' smoke the same. Puff mines and you gon' show. Five niggas up the flame. Yeah, now he grab toast. Stick on my bro name, you gon' meet him in here, but he gon' have your own boat. If it's smoking, say that shit. If you don't, I might never know. But the bro got shot, it's the life of the game. You gon' reap what you sow. Half a perk of the drink, some smoke. Matter of fact, I need some more. I can't leave the streets alone. It's up, I might never put my heater down. But to put this music aside, put my cleats on and step a nigga down. Hop out that car, niggas gonna be a man down. I swear to God, I ain't playing around. Nigga play, we gon' spray around. He got shook by the Draco sound. Yeah, dress swinging over my face just like a rock star. I don't like lurking, I'm trying to up score in these pussy boys. Niggas hiding, they won't come outside, and this shit's gonna get annoying. We up the score and three, and knowing y'all ain't got nothing for us. Choppers, Glock, and Max, and Ticks, plus we got ARs. These niggas soft, but we got hard seals who wanna play hard. He shot my eye before I seen him, so he got paid for it.
Yo, what up with it, man? Y'all know what time it is, man, and y'all know what's going down, man. It's Mike Donald from TDFA, and once again, man, they done fucked around. So I got my people with me up in the building, man. This is one TDFA exclusive, man, that y'all gonna hear first and foremost right here, man. Out the way, by way of Saginaw and Detroit, man. So and Ohio, man. So we giving it to y'all real, man. The backstage of the life of proof. This part 2, man, of what's going on, man, and then just everything else. We feeling the vibes for everything. So and Eminem, man, backstage tours, everything, man. So we just gonna interview, man. This is the this man been up on tour with Eminem, man, one of the greats, man. You know, he's proof right hand man, Eminem's right hand man. He they put them up on tour, man. He's been on tour with the greats, man. He's been seen in pictures in studios with some of the greats, man. Prodigy, just man. Just man, some of the greats to just name a few, man. But I'll let him explain everything to y'all in a minute, man. But with that being said, man, I'm gonna introduce my panel. It's Miss Catherine Rivers, man. How you doing? She's by way of Thor Magazine. Yeah, so big ups to by way of Thor Magazine, Miss Cat. And then right there is Mr. Yacht Life Chronicles, man. Mr. Yacht Life Chronicles, man. He's an author, philanthropist. At this point now, man, we might as well say, man. But also, man, he has a podcast and a clothing line with this book coming out too. So y'all can be looking forward to that too, man. So you know, and if anybody know him, man, you know he's for the people, man. So Yacht Life Chronicles, we're better together than separated, man. So I want to introduce him to y'all. So right then, we got Mr. Horny Mac, as they call him, Watkins, man. So Horn, how you doing, bro?
What's going on, fam?
Yeah. So you know, this still part 2, man. So I don't know if y'all check. Well, we ain't even out yet with the first interview, man. So you know what I mean. So it was a good time, man. I actually just fill everybody in on what else we was doing, man. We shake the money tree with everybody, man. That's what you should be doing. You lead by example, you know what I mean? So I pick up my people when they left. You know what I mean? When man, I ain't have nothing. Like when I was finna get ready to quit this podcast, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, say, come on, bro. You know what I mean? So that's big ups, man. And look how far, you know what I mean? It take that, bro. It take that. And he had never had to call. I'd never get that phone call again from him. You know, feel me? So that's big ups, man. And look how far we done came. So that speak volume for me, man. So And then Miss Cat, man, like, you know what I mean? Like I said, man, she doing everything that she doing. And I see how hungry people is, bro. So outside of the interview, man, this is also down there gonna be the weekend panel, man. So we just showing just different ways of just we doing how we doing it. So with that being said, we got let's just tell us about the industry, man, and pick us up from where you left off at. Tell a few people, man, or the people that how you was rocking and who are you actually?
Well, I was I was brought into the industry, by way of Proof from D12, man. He did me a solid, reach back to the neighborhood, and he was like that. He was one of them guys that is always extended the olive branch. You know what I mean? Connected the dots from the hood to the Hollywood. Like
Mm-hmm.
like I said before, I'm eternally grateful for that. He brought me in. You know, showed me a different way of life, man. When it came to the industry, bro, and somebody that I grew up with from the same, back when before we was like, when we was teenagers, we grew up together, me, Proof, a few members from D12, M came from our hood, and I got to salute those guys, man, because a lot of cats, thing, man, they don't reach back and extend the olive branch to the, to your day ones, to people that you, went through your childhood with, or you went through your teens with, and like I said, I brought on during they, I always had the opportunity, Proof said that he was going to reach back and grab cats from the hood and give them and put them in position. And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah. And it's people like I forgot what song that was with Proof, man, where he said Dre Dukes, man. He gave you shout outs, man. And then he spoke stories, man, and man, and y'all could catch that episode too of me and Dre Dukes, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was on, I think it was on the D12 World album. That was on D12 album that they made, which that's the album that I produced the DVD with, the behind the scenes footage with.
Yeah, that was the joint. Was that the package? With yeah, that's tight, man. I remember that, and that's crazy, like what I mean. That's what I was like, man. I remember that deluxe album with the DVD. You remember they was doing that back in the day? Yeah,
Yeah, I produced that. Was that was I produced that and that was my hand on the cover of their album, where it had the globe in their hand. Where they had the like they had the hand on there. It was like a little, a little creepy little hand on there, but it had the globe in it. But it was great. That was done. It was great. That was done. That shit was done with my hand in a tennis ball, Doctor. Crazy, man. I just, with the effect that guys from our editing team at the time, how they doctored that up, man. It taught me a lot, man. Showed me a lot, and I was like I said, it was a time, man.
Yeah.
Something that I'll never forget, and something that I'm eternally grateful for once again, for the opportunity.
So that's what's up, man. So take us so we gonna get into it kinda, man. Not like you know how we do. We hit the corners, bend the corners, man. So we gonna pick up from part 2, man. So basically take us back, man, of just the life of just meeting the best rapper that like they say the best rapper alive, or one of the greats, man. So y'all go back since what?
We go back since like early, like high school days. While me and Proof go back from like middle school, 8th grade, but M came along and I got introduced. Well, we first ran into M, I first ran into M, first seen him for the first time before I ran into Marshall Mathers, and what I'm saying, ran into him in high school,
Yeah.
This was back before it was way before it was a deal, when Proof was sneaking him in the lunchroom and because Proof he was a battle rapper, you know, in the Detroit rap world. And basically the shit that you seen on 8 Mile, it was a direct replica of basically how they started out. You know, Proof was like, you know, he was the man beat in the you know, on the Detroit scene on the rap battle tip. But then, you know,
this is the crazy part about that. So it's crazy that you said that, right? Because how was Proof though? Like, you know what I mean? So a lot of people don't know this, but what did Proof actually tell anybody to try to battle him though?
well, you know, it started off like with you know, things called the hip hop shop, and if you're familiar with that, you know, the Detroit scene on the hip hop world, you know, they used to, you know, have nights at the hip hop shop, and you know, it's where local MCs would go in there, like the local Detroit and MCs or whoever was like, you know, trying to make a name for themselves would go in there at the hip hop shop and display their talent, you know, and made a household name for herself. You know, he was crushing everybody. You know, he wasn't, you know, the boy was the Floyd Mayweather of the shit.
Let me ask this right quick.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Because, you know, during the time that he was down there at the St. Andrews, because they not only, you know, this not just a travesty to a rapper. Like, this guy was a whole culture in Detroit. Like, down there at St. Andrews, what they was doing, man, the rappers he was bringing to the mic, man, the battle rap scene that he brought. Like, take us back to that, man. Like, take us back to one of them hardcore battle raps, man, that you can recall him hosting.
Oh man, we had a situation or we had one time we had he had flew in Murder Mook. Had Murder Mook. We had Calico from here from Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
And the prize was like maybe 5 racks. You know, Proof was putting up the money for the prize. You know, this is just how he was, you know.
So he was putting up his own money.
Yeah, Proof was basically at the time, you know, Proof was a house, you know, D12 was a household name, but he was just hosting like rap battles, you know, on his own. You know what I'm saying? He was ahead of the curve. He was doing what the Smack DVD was doing, but he was doing it in Detroit before Smack even got.
Right, he was, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
I remember.
that's so like he was our Nipsey Hussle, dog. Before Nip, you know, he was the Detroit Nipsey Hussle, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because he would do things like that to generate, you know, the wave for up and coming people or people that would, you know, he was giving people a platform, man, and he didn't have to do that. But like I said, it was, you know,
you think that's why Eminem, like, they like, how was they bond though, like with Proof and Eminem, because he actually put M on, right?
Yeah, well, you know, people don't know that Proof, you know, he won the rap Olympics. So when he won the rap Olympics, you know, he was the winner. The prize was a recording contract. Proof had a deal with Tommy Boy Records on the floor at the time from that winning that rap Olympics. So when, you know, back then, you know, Tommy Boy Records, they also had Aaliyah and R. Kelly on there. People don't know that Proof was he was in the Aaliyah video, one of the back in the day. And
so Proof,
so
and that's Detroit, a veteran too, like Aaliyah. Yeah. So you mean to tell me that Proof was up in the Aaliyah video at the time?
Yes, sir.
And he already had a record deal.
No, he didn't have a record deal. He won a record deal at this point at the Rap Olympics. This is way before Shady Records era. This is way before like Proof and Eminem, they was locked in at that point before they had a deal. So the pact was whoever amongst the group between D12 and Eminem, like whoever got on first would grab it. Yeah. So Proof won that Rap Olympics, and he, you know, they wanted to get that record deal. he wanted he wanted a group deal as well as a solo deal, and they wouldn't give it to him. So Proof didn't take the deal. This is why M and Proof was so locked in, and people don't know this.
Yeah.
So, like I said, like they had made a pact together, like would also make sure that the crew was on.
Mm-hmm.
So when Proof, they offered Proof that deal, it was just for him, you know, and he was like, nah, he didn't take it. You know, so fast forward, then when it came time, you know, then when M got on, you know, when M wound up getting the deal, wound up inking the deal with Dre, he told them the same thing. So they inked the deal. That's how Shady Records began.
And
Because a label deal.
mm.
You get what I'm saying? So then immediately
Around what year was this?
D12. That's how the legend began.
She said around what year was that?
This was like, I want to say 99, 98.
Yeah. And
I thought I was
I
saying
remember that.
Yeah.
then when M inked the deal, that's when M came out with Drake. Dre brought him to the forefront, brought him on the Up in Smoke tour. Remember that? Up in Smoke, Silverdome, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Palace. But yeah, that's when you know, that's great into the world, you know. But 2001, D12 was 2001. Off of, after that, Marshall Mathers. What was the next album you heard come out? That was the D12 World.
yeah.
You know, so
They
then,
had the world on fire.
yeah, man, that Marshall Mathers piece, it set the bar. It yesterday's price wasn't today's price. You know, shout out to the show with that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, it was, that shit just took off, man. That shit took off like something that we never dreamed of. You know when M inked that deal, man. You know when that CD got into, you know, that CD, Eminem CD got into the hands of Jimmy Iovine's daughter. Jimmy Iovine's daughter was playing Eminem's demo tape. Then Jimmy Iovine so happened to walk past, whatever, and she was listening to, and you know how you double take, you back up,
Yeah.
you know, and then
Shit.
once he heard that, you know, he got on the phone with Dre, and it was like, you know, we need to find out who this cat is. You know, so it was, shout out to Jimmy Iovine's daughter, because she kind of, you know, started it all. You know, because
Wow, that's unique. I never heard that. I never knew that.
yeah, man, it was crazy.
So basically, because what I'm hearing, man, that you know they didn't have to get ready, man. They was already ready, and they was already qualified to be in that position that they was placed in.
Nah, man, the boys went through a lot, man, to get to where they were, man. You know, them boys went through a lot, man. You know, and it was, like I say, it was just how the movie was, man. You know, they didn't, you know, the shit that you seen on that movie, a lot of those things happened, you know, along the way. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, you know, M was working small jobs, you know, Proof was steady, keeping shit together on the hip hop scene, you know, you know what I'm saying? 12, they was coming to the hip hop shop, you know, battling every night, trying to, you know, putting their play. You know, those guys were really, the guys really grinded out, man. Really started from the bottom. They the definition of started from the bottom. Now we here.
Mm-hmm.
So
You know,
let's take us back, man. So let's take us back to this day, man. So even with all right, we already we covered, man. I covered, man, with Dre, man. You know, like I said, man, I just my own way of just knowing a few people along the way, man. You know, big shout out to Ty, man. Who was
guy.
Yeah, Ty, my guy, man. So you know what I mean. Outside of Ty, man, that's big shout out to him. And then Drake, man, you know, the Bodyguard, man. So, you know, yeah, Drake Dukes, man. So how did, like, even with the Bodyguard, man, along the way, man, how did that come along?
Well, that had came along because like I say, around this time, this was like right after we signed 50 Cent, you know, shout out to 50, you know, 50, and I seen 50 one when I first met 50, dog, him and Lloyd Banks, they pulled up, came up to the motherfucking studio at 54 Sound in Detroit, man. I mean, in Ferndale, man, and in a Volkswagen Beetle, nigga.
Yeah.
A week later, I seen the In the Club video with 10 Hummers. But shout out to Fifth, man.
Where the Hummers come from?
Hey, that's big ups, dog. Hey, hey, that's something that we ain't know. So you said they put up in a what?
A Volkswagen Beetle one day at the studio, dog. And came in that motherfucker, man, and made magic, dog. And a week later, man, I seen In the Club video, it was 10 Hummers, bro.
Shot off into the stratosphere quick.
Hey, big ups, man. I shout outs to 50 Cent at this point, though, because, hey,
for real.
Did that.
He always do it big, though. I love that, man.
So did y'all, let me ask you that, though. So when they came, how did that come about, man, with just signing 50 Cent?
Oh, that came about, man. You know, the industry was in a bidding war. You know, Puff, Puff wasn't willing to touch it because Puff, you know, he didn't want to get in. You know, 50 Cent had issues with Supreme McGriff. You know, so Puff, you know, being that they from New York, so that whole little hookup they didn't want.
So that's like first. But
honest with you, Fifth ain't want nothing to do with that anyway, because, you know, at the time, Irv Gotti, he was working at the radio station, so he was basically, you know, trying to block every deal that Fifth got. You get what I'm saying? Like, if anybody fuck with Fifth, I'm not, you know, our artist not working.
Had to. So do you think that's like the rivalry of Murder Inc. and G Unit, like at the time?
Yeah.
Like that, now we starting to figure out. So that's what, like, he blocked 50 Cent from.
He's baller blocking.
Yeah.
You couldn't stop God's plan, and that's the way I look at it, because that boy was destined, bro. I don't give a fuck who, what, when, where. You not stop the kid, you know. But at that time, that shit stimulated for real street beef with him and Supreme, man, and Supreme was locked in, you know, throughout New York City. You know, he kind of had a stranglehold on a lot of shit, you know.
Yeah.
Supreme was fucking with everybody, you know, from motherfuckers like Haitian Jack, you know, when it come to you know, cats like that, man. You know, Supreme was locked in. He was one of them Big Meech's New York City type shit, man. So to say the least. But what happened was, you know, like had that whole issue going on with that street situation. So, you know, 50 had already had a deal prior to that, you know, but he had got shot when he was on Columbia Records, you know. So came back, you know, when he rehabilitated himself and got, you know what I'm saying, when he got back on his feet and got back, shit, you know, Columbia had dropped him. So, you know, a lot of the situations was, you know, shedding on him. A lot of doors are slamming on him. But Fifth, you know, Fifth being a cerebral assassin, man, he just flooded the whole motherfucking mixtape circuit with material.
I definitely respect his game, man. Like, my dude he clowns. Like, if you get into it, he'll buy your whole concert out.
He's like if Art of War had a face, it would be
it. Yeah, it would be it. I love
and
that
that's
dude,
and it's crazy because, you know, he came with the 50th power, you know, before they
very smart.
And that like that because I mean, most of us don't, but the 48 but
For a lot
Yeah,
of power,
he
yeah.
took it to a next level, man. And the see, so what do you actually see, man, from just the person? Okay, let's put it like this: the person that you just seen pull up in a Volkswagen Beetle, right, was 50 Cent, right? So you
Right,
seen 50 Cent pull up in a Volkswagen Beetle, right? Now,
right.
compared to the mogul that he is now.
Well, see, the thing about it, even though I seen him pull up in a Volkswagen Beetle, he still had a rich aura about him. The boy,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was something, dude. It was something like, you know, it was something like if the shit was dropped out of heaven, bro, and the shit just illuminated so bright and shine so bright to where, you know, it wasn't no stopping him. It wasn't no, you know, and he really had the attitude to get rich or die trying. Because like he said, like it was always like, okay, well, I know what I'm facing within the hood. So I might as well put my all into this and see where it goes. So, but you know, from the day one when he showed up, man, you know, it's hard. It's you can't
Some
help.
people just had that glow. I
Yeah,
try to tell people that, and if you inspired by God in any way, you can always see that glow on people.
you know
I
what?
always told Max Hilly that. I say, baby, you got the glow, you gonna make it. You just signed with B's on music down there. You know, so I knew that boy was
And
gonna,
that
start
You
yeah,
know
taking
what?
off.
You,
It's a glow.
that's
you
yeah.
know what? I gotta say, man, what really made the world fall in love with 50 Cent, man, was his authenticity. The boy
Yep.
was authentic as fuck. He was
That's itself.
authentic from day one. I met the dude, dog. And then, like I said, when he showed up at the studio, you know, he was a perfectionist. He came in there. He came in there, and him and M, they really like was locked in from day one because they both had the same type of energy. You know, they had the same type of drive because they both came from humble beginnings and they understood each other. Real, you know, real recognize real. So when he came in there, his work ethic was relentless, man. He came in there, you know,
He wanted it.
he dropped, you know,
Hmm.
some of them classics, man, and that boy wrote to that shit. That patiently waiting.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man.
I watched it happen in real time, bro.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That
That's
That's dope.
I watched them shits happen in real time, dog. Classic, and you just knew it was just like I say, man. He came in there in the Volkswagen Beetle, dog, and he left, and it was 50 Mania. You couldn't turn no motherfucking MTV on, no none of that without seeing that boy face, without hearing that boy music.
Yeah, he took over for a good minute, like
yeah.
really took over. And I love the fact that he's so versatile and he done switched over and now he taking over the TV industry. You know what I mean? Like
One,
those
Yeah.
series
Yeah.
that he dropping, they
one,
fan stuff. They love it, man. Like people is really on BMF bad. I'm
again,
one of them.
one, I gotta give a shout out because of the machine, Jimmy Iovine. You know him and Jimmy. You know, like they all had that deal, that Beats by Dre deal. You know, so
Yeah.
that didn't turn out so well. So 50 was like, you know, he went and made that SM audio. Remember, he had on
Yeah.
that kind of was the riff because it was like it like a slight issue between Jimmy Iovine and Fifth because you know afterwards you know him and M 50 and M was 50 and Jimmy Iovine was had a meeting or whatever and they was talking and you know he was like you know it was basically like okay well 50 did his last two songs were projects real quick to get released from the label because they didn't got an eye about the whole headphone situation and
Yeah.
Mm.
then basically he was like well you know Jimmy Iovine was like well maybe you got to feature in television or maybe television away and you don't tell a person like that something like that you give a person like that an idea and
Yeah.
they go
And they gonna run with it. I
what
always tell
So,
people if you can't
so,
get through one
listen,
door, then you create one.
so basically,
Create
what you
yourself a
telling
door.
me is, like, let's be honest, man. Basically, you telling me is, that Jimmy Iovine was it Jimmy Iovine and 50 Cent?
It was Jimmy Iovine and 50 Cent that kind of, 50. What happened was because the way, when when 50 had he had everything at his peak, at his apex, they they basically came to him and said, "Damn, I need you to work with this guy Game. I need a project, Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre." So 50 was like, okay, well, being that he a solid cat, man, he loyal. He's like, okay, I help the dude out, So 50 did a lot of writing for the games. I gave Game a lot of material for that documentary album, that Hated to Love. He gave
Yeah.
that him and Fifth was in. He had that. That was really for the G Unit album, for the G Unit second album. That was a lot of material that was supposed to go on G Unit second album.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
crazy, bro.
Crazy,
So,
yeah.
hey, and
That's
then
love though.
speak of
You
that,
know,
so as we get into like, I mean, well, even though you witnessed everything, so with that being said, man, like let's go back to like, man, like how, like, okay, with 50, bro, he put everybody else first before he took off too. That's why they kind of like, you know what I mean?
no, 50 was just he's just like him, man. They like two peas in a pot, man. They they solid guys, man.
Yeah.
These are our last of the dying breed type of individuals, bro.
Yeah.
M and 50 did the same thing. The same thing. 50 y'all gotta understand. 50, his first album sold 13 million copies, right? 13.5, right?
30, yeah.
The,
13.5.
label was asking him for another 50 Cent album. In the midst of that, right after his first album, what'd he do? He dropped the G Unit album.
Yep. And that mug went crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Went crazy.
So a lot of his material that he had for the second album, he Game. A lot of that material that he had wrote, he had wrote it for his second album and the second G Unit album, and he gave them shits to Game.
Mm-hmm.
That's love, man. That's love.
Because the machine, Jimmy Iovine, then was like, need help with this guy. Guy can't write a song.
And when you know that you can write so easily, and you know that you can transition to any beat, and you can make hits, you don't care about giving some stuff away.
Okay.
You're gonna bounce back.
Oh, my bad. What you're saying, but that kind of make me think about it. Now that I'm thinking, man, it make me think about but he wrote for the Game, right?
100%. A lot of that shit.
So if he wrote for the Game, like it's crazy, bro, because the Game came later on with the what, 400 bars?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like Game came back and wrote his own, like, you know what I mean, with the 400 bars. Like, that's crazy, bro.
So here's where the problem lies at. Game started being managed by Jimmy Henchman. Jimmy Henchman was, once again, fucking with the Supreme Team.
Oh.
So there's your rift between the Game was influence of this guy, but at the same time, this guy, 50 the type of person, like, if you stand too close to his enemy, then you're his enemy.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
You give it.
I don't blame. Yeah.
So Game went rogue, and he over there being managed by Jimmy Henchman, man, and then which fucked up a lot of money, man. Fucked up a lot. Fucked up.
Damn.
Fucked up. You know what I'm saying? He threw a chink in the motherfucking. So that's when Game, started that whole what he started. And 50 was like, damn, he looking at Jimmy like, damn, what's up, man? You can't control this kid.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You asked me to do you a solid. You can't control this kid. This guy, you asked me to help this guy, and this guy turn around and do this.
Disrespectful, kinda. You know what I mean? You feel disrespected.
But point, it's okay. Well, I want off the label. That's what, like I said, that's what started the whole. That's what made things uncomfortable for 50.
Yeah.
Dropped the Curtis album, and then like a little deluxe joint that completed this 5 album deal. And that's when his stint ended with, it wasn't no more Interscope. That's when 50, after that, you notice 50 started you know, he cerebral backed himself, he bet on himself once again.
Yeah.
Guys no strangers to betting on himself. So when he went into that whole movie thing, after the premiere, you got Ghost.
Down.
That's crazy, bro.
Thing that took the world by storm, and he
So
kept
it's basically like the same way, like, but just like up on some boss type shit. Like, hey man, you feel me? It's the same shit you going through, like in the, but just on some boss type shit. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
because if you anybody that's a hustler, man, one thing about it is, the hustle don't stop, man. You gotta
It
in
don't.
yeah,
the world that we live in today, one thing that I've learned is that you gotta learn how to reinvent yourself even after the fact that you become once you are. If you notice, most rappers change their name. You got niggas start off as Jay-Z, then it starts to Jigga, then it starts to Hove.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Reinvent yourself. You reinvent yourself. You constantly reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
So you can never get complacent and just think that this one thing is the end all be all.
Yeah, because you're gonna plateau out,
Yeah,
and
you can never be a
the
one.
audience evolves. With every generation, the audience ears evolve. They want to hear something different. They wanna see something different, and you gotta
mhm,
oblige that.
Yeah, that's how you remain
yeah,
relevant in culture.
Yeah,
yeah,
you have to oblige that. I done been Cadillac Jones. I done been KJ. I done been I done been a lot of things throughout the time I done been alive. Just
mhm,
just reinventing myself and doing different things. I'm rapping, I'm singing, I'm podcasting. I'm changing, to fit the mold, and this is just a different level. He had a different level doing it,
yeah.
and I think
Bro,
he's very smart in
I
how he
I
does it.
appreciate everything that everybody got going on up on the screen, man.
Very
And
smart.
just for you even just elaborating up on that, that take my mind somewhere, thinking about how the next move I need to make is
Yeah.
being a business owner or trying to do everything that I'm trying to do. And that's crazy, bro. So just man, even just we were just bugging out about the Beatles. So it's how you elaborated up on that, man. It's cool, man. So take us back to this, man. So by you and Proof, like how you said, man, you and Proof was cool, man. And Proof, before he got on, he made sure that M got on. That's the key.
Yeah,
You feel
yeah.
me? So now we digging into the history of how. So basically, they always said like, if it wasn't for Eminem, you wouldn't have 50. But if it wasn't for, what I mean, Proof, that you wouldn't
Proof,
have
you wouldn't
him.
have an
If it
Eminem.
was him, you wouldn't have 50. You know what I mean? So it's like that's crazy, and for that to be
And see,
linked back,
that's
yeah,
what loyalty all started at. You know what I'm saying? Because back in our day, you was a man of your word. Not
mhm,
Yep.
lost art. So cats, they stayed loyal to the soil, and they said what they meant, and they meant what they said. So, like I said, like even back in our early high school days, Proof would sneak M into a high school lunchroom, and M didn't even go to our school. You know what I'm saying? M didn't even go to Osborne High School. What I'm saying? But Proof would sneak him in there, and where a lot of the battles would go on, or a lot of
Just
the
come rap.
shit that will go on, in high school. This shit started out in high school. Or anybody thought that they had skills, come fourth, fifth, or sixth hour, whatever time, whatever time it was the prime time in the lunchroom. You know what I'm saying? And everybody wanted to battle Proof because Proof was, he was the champ.
That guy, yeah. He was
He
that
was.
guy.
yeah. So that movie 8 Mile, everything about that was basically real, right?
Yeah, that was based off a true story. So, you know what I'm saying, like I say, so when you know what I'm saying, M would be just sitting there chilling, you know what I'm saying, Proof was like, nah, you ain't battling me, you gotta battle the white boy, you know.
Mm-hmm. And
So
that I actually got unseen footage, man. Well, just footage, man, from even that, and it'll be placed probably right now. So you feel me?
And all your rap songs or whatever you spit my name. I guess you think that's getting you some street credibility that you spit my name out your mouth. All right.
So that's what got the bear riled up, man. You know what I mean? And,
You know, I mean,
Man, Cliff Notes, what's up? Oh yeah, Cliff Notes did that. Man, look at that. Tribute to JD. Rest in peace, baby. What?
You gonna see us in the street, you gonna see us on the theater, you gonna see us on the tape, you gonna see us everywhere, you gonna see the tapes, you gonna see the CDs. CDs gonna play in 3D, you gonna see me on 7 Mile, you gonna see me on 6 Mile, you gonna see me downtown, you gonna see me everywhere the buses go, nigga. Everywhere.
You heard it here first, baby. It's 3 in the making. 24-hour mixtape.
Sean time out. Alright.
Tell them not to fuck around and do it.
From Linwood, you gonna make it right.
You gonna kill yourself. Don't fuck around with it. Go ahead, go jump this way. If you jump, if you smoke crack, you can't slow. You might as well jump. You might as well jump, nigga. Jump now.
But y'all
Don't fuck around with it.
and the way y'all
Especially if you smoke crack.
y'all flow.
Unlike Joe
You got
Rogan.
36
I need
bars to come up with 32 bars.
I got 16.
Together.
Hold up, Jay, explain that again.
16.
Oh, it's all be it back and forth, me.
Whatever y'all do. However y'all do it. It is back and
Explain
forth.
that again, what they about to
I
do.
mean, they got a little tennis match, a little tag team wrestle match.
Who is it now?
You know, J Kid, Mo Dirty.
Fresh out the thing,
Flame
nigga.
against Blue. They fresh out the thing. It's about to say battle is a spar.
Trying to make, no, you know what it is?
You're not backing out of a battle, are you?
Dexterity.
I'm back out of battles, but I don't know audio ass, stage ass. What the fuck is that?
It ain't stage. I already got y'all, so we on that stage.
Put condoms on me. Beat bitches with
What's up?
Hey, Flying. What up? What's up, man? What's happening with this song right here? Man, it's some crazy shit. It's some shit niggas ain't.
so you feel me? But even what you was doing then, that's backstage, man. You right next to Proof. You right there with Eminem up in the studio, man. So how is it from you actually, man, seeing all of these different hustlers, man, and just growing up and just actually seeing that just shit just like, how do you think about it? Like, do that motivate you though?
At the moment in time, you know, it was really surreal for me, man. It was really kind of like an out of body experience because you take a guy from the hood, man, and then you expose him to a corporate entertainment way of life, man. It's a huge transition, bro. Like I remember my first jobs was being, you know what I'm saying, I had to pick the artist up from the hotel. I remember picking John Legend, West up. This was right before they signed to Rockefeller. You know,
You said John Legend and Kanye West?
I picked up John Legend and Kanye West from the from the Townsend Inn Hotel in Birmingham, Michigan, bro. And I picked them up from the hotel and brought them back to the studio to do a track on D12 second album. And maybe a week later, you know what I'm saying, he got signed to Rockefeller. This was in 2004. And so just seeing that and dealing with that, actually that was late 2003, you know, early 2004. So just being a part of that, man, and knowing that these guys were responsible for that transition and at that point in time in my life, man, you know, like I say, bro, that was something that I can never ever repay them guys for, man. And you know, so that right there, it was, you know, just being involved, man, and dealing and meeting and rubbing elbows with the likes of people like Paul Rosenberg, which once again, you know, these people, Tracy McNew, these are just the CEO of Shady Records, man, and those people right there, you know, they were really good people, man, and they embraced me all because of Proof, man, and you know, he built those relationships through him, and which allowed me to have those relationships with these people, man. And once again, man, like I say, it was something I'll never forget. Something.
Yeah.
And like I always tell artists when they come onto my show, networking is the key to your success in life. A lot of times you have to be humble enough to be wherever you are called for in your position. You could be the janitor. You could be the person that come clean the offices up behind people. You know, people got off on that first. You know, they cleaned offices and things like that. And you never know who you're going to run into or meet. And you just never know where your team going to go. But all the chains that link in your team, you got to make sure that loyalty is connecting them. Because your whole team will move like an engine,
and
you know.
Then now that you fast forward and look throughout the world today, and it's like you got family members crossing each other. You got, you know, nobody sticking to their
no
word.
loyalty no more.
Yeah, they running off on like that shit like it become like
nobody their word, man, and that shit right.
I tell my man J Jack, who threw me on Thought, he's the owner. Shout out to J Jack. He the owner of Thought magazine. I always tell him, he say, well, you might get pulled by Vibe or anything, you know, and if they call you, go ahead and get that money. I always tell him, I don't move unless you move with me. You got to come too. You know, you're going to have to play a role too. You have to come too, bro. I ain't leaving you. You know what I mean? You picked me up when I was at a time when I ain't even believe in myself and I was just really just trying something.
And I be telling people that. I said, man, sometimes, man, I be stretching out to these people, bro. It's like, man, and me and
people coming with me
talked about it, bro. I be stretching out, man, and like at a time you gotta be like, I got a life, bro, but it'd be like, man, I'm stretching out. I ain't thirsty for no interview, but at the same time, bro, I want people to see what I see up in them. But sometimes you know what I mean? And that's what's gonna get us further, bro. But we tear down so much and we don't build up. You feel me? He might not be good at this or you know what I mean, but you know what I mean.
But you might meet somebody that make you strong in that area.
Everybody ain't Bo Jackson, bro. Like you feel me?
You know, and you know what I learned. You know what I learned over my years, man. And I'm like, before this internet wave, man, before this social media wave, man. You know, we was on that type of time. We was on that each one teach one. You know, lift your brother up or lift your compadre up. You know what I mean. But now it's just like, people don't understand. Social media was built for connecting the dots, and people use that platform to really get on some selfish type of shit.
To tear people down.
Yeah.
There's so much internet bullying and tearing down of people's character on the internet that is sad.
Because all that negativity, you know, you got to understand where that driving force come from, and once you unplug like the Matrix and you understand what the logistics of what it is that you're dealing with, then you got to have the mental capacity to say, no, on that ain't the move. You know, let me go ahead and spread love. Life was meant to spread love, man. Whenever you do conquer, bro, nothing is gonna bode well from, you know, that shit.
And that's kind of like where I be like, man, even with like, bro. Don't let you know what I mean? Don't get left behind. Not the same nigga you were just talking about.
I put my phone on D&D and he still was able to call through.
Oh yeah, you good. So so it's like
I tell my kids, if it ain't no love present, it ain't no God present. You know what I mean? God is love.
That's the principle.
Mm-hmm.
God is love, and if it ain't no love in the room, God ain't there. You need to move around. I don't care who's in the building. I will leave if I don't feel no love there. You know what I mean? And that's the attitude that people gotta start having.
Your presence alone. So okay, take us back, man. So take us back, man, to it might be a touchy situation, but you can speak up on what you feel comfortable with speaking on. You know what I mean? I always tell people, man, this ain't it's an interview, not an interrogation. So, you know what I mean? Take us back on the day that Proof died, man.
Yeah, that right there, man. Yeah, that's definitely a touchy situation. But that kind of really changed a lot of people's lives, that, you know, for all parties that's involved, and people that lost their lives, that you know,
Yeah.
from the dude that both of the individuals that lost their lives, you know, that really impacted a lot of people, man. You know, especially on the Detroit scene, you know, because like I say, Proof was the olive branch. He was the glue to the city, man. He had a pulse on the city. But that particular night, man, you know, like I
So
said,
he wasn't the only person that died that night?
nah. Mm-mm. It was two people that passed away that night. It was it was the person that it was one other individual that wasn't a part of our crew that we kind of got into it with that passed away too. So that person family was impacted by that, as well as Proof family and as well as the Detroit hip hop community scene. You know, that shit was all impacted.
I remember being in Detroit at the time that happened, and I remember how sad everybody was. Like, we was all just so sad because we had been at the Zodiacs, the after hour bar down there, and Proof and them had came in there while we was there, and we was so excited. I got to shake his hand, and that may have been like maybe a couple of months before. I think it was
Yes.
like a couple of months before. So I was staying in Highland Park on Winona Avenue. If
Okay.
I was standing on Winona Street down there, and I
That's,
remember like we was just like couldn't believe it because we had just seen him. You know what I mean? Like not too many months before we had saw him down there in the club, and I'm like, this is, you know, it wasn't real to us. Like it just was crazy to us. And I remember the boy next door that used to rap, and he used to go to a lot of the rap battles and stuff down there when we was younger. He cried so hard. And I remember I didn't know what to say. You know what I mean? I had never experienced death that, you know, that
yeah,
dramatically in life yet.
yeah, because a lot of people don't understand because, like I said, Proof had a pulse on the city. He was providing a platform for people that was inspiring to be up and coming artists, you know, and his mentality was, it was like, I'll never let Hollywood turn me Hollywood and turn my back on my people.
Yeah.
Remember how Dave Chappelle's skit was when he saying keeping it real goes too far?
Keeping it real goes wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of them situations, man, because a lot of times we were in the trenches, like you just said, like we were known for being after hours. We would go from, you know, just, I know this is getting off track for a quick second, but we would go from Ford Field to like 100, maybe 80,000 people, to being in your local after hour spot.
Yeah. And that's just come from being a real human being in the city that you grow up with. I mean, if I was a famous entertainer right now, I would still go to the Elks here in Saginaw.
That's where you get your vibe.
You know, I would still go. You know, it's your life. You
You know,
don't leave your life.
but getting back,
Hey, so answer me this one though, man. So the day Proof got killed, he was what? He was trying to y'all were just celebrating though, right?
yeah,
Y'all
we
got off a flight or something?
yeah, we had just, you know, like hours, maybe 6-7 hours before then, maybe probably a little more, maybe about 8 hours before then, we had back into the city, man. We was in Arizona. We had a business proposal with Sosa Brand Tequila, and looking for somebody to be the face of their brand. The lady that had took over the brand after her husband had passed away, and she wasn't the handler of the company. Her husband normally was whatever. Was like, you know, you got to find you an ambassador for your brand, basically. You know, we were gonna be one of the to help promote and be the face of the brand. You know,
That had to have been a lot of money of a contract then if you was gonna do a whole brand for some tequila.
yeah, it was like probably about 1.5.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all was celebrating big then.
Yeah. like once again, you know, we had been, you know, had partied in Arizona, you know, down in Scottsdale, you know, before we left there, because you know, you got to think about it. You know, for some average hood cats, man, to start inking deals, their own deals, you know, outside of what it is that somebody else might bring to your table, and
Yeah, all pros.
you starting to become your own household name. How that shit hit different, you know.
Yeah,
You feel like you know, you have basically
been
put
accomplished.
your imprint, your accomplishment. You know what I mean? And
Yeah. And I don't mean to like that. I mean, that is a touchy subject, man, because
but
everything that you was up, y'all was up. Y'all just signed that contract, bro.
yeah,
With Steelers.
yeah, and he had
Then
his
flew back that same night, and then you lost like not lost everything, but you lost like, you know, man.
yeah,
Damn,
pretty
bro.
much. Lives were affected. A lot of people's lives took a different twist after that, man. You know, because
Fuck, bro. That shit, right? Like I
I
ain't.
always say in those kind of tragic things, though, God used us in so many different ways to teach us. You know, sometimes we come here to teach, to make people grow. We giving knowledge, we teaching them what and what not to do while they coming along. You know what I mean? And even though the devil came in and tried to steal things, y'all learned so much from what happened. I'm pretty sure, and
you
I'm
know,
pretty sure that the impact he left behind just made people go so much harder to like just make him proud. You
yeah.
know.
And then that's basically was the, you know, after the mourning and all the, you know, when you got ready to pick up the pieces, it was like, you know, you just thought about the commitment, the drive that he had, and you know, you thought about what would he do in those situations, and then, you know what I'm saying, you know, and you kind of, it motivated you, and it said, damn, okay, well, damn, I witnessed how his drive and his work ethic was, you know, let me dust myself off and, you know, try to get this shit going. But, you know, the crazy part about it is when somebody else, the anchor of your ship, man, and they kind of like the leader amongst men, you know, it's kind of hard to find your direction.
It is. It is. I can truthfully, honestly agree with that. I've lost 3 best friends, and I rocked afterwards. You know, you just don't really know what to do. That's who you call for this, and that's who you call for that. You know, it's a
And
lot.
and that's a prime example. And I'm gonna tell y'all this, that it ain't about what you know all the time. It's about who you know.
Who you know? Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Being that I knew this guy, you know, because you got to think about it. When Proof passed away, bro.
Uh oh.
Yeah, bro went out for a minute, but he'll be back in. He'll pop back in, man.
Yeah.
But man, just like I'm still
Man.
over here like at all, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah. That's
and I'm like, man, so we just took
it. Be so many
all the
powerful things that happen, man.
and
And
you gotta think about it, like think about this part though.
you
Like
gotta look at the big picture
he
of
was
things.
at it's like we think about all of this shit, but we ain't thinking like all these links, man. And that link
Yeah.
rubbing
Yeah,
elbow,
he linking
right?
a lot of stuff together that make
Yeah,
things make
think
sense of
about it.
why
Like,
it was going how it was going.
yeah, okay, well, Proof was up in Aaliyah video. Aaliyah is from
Mhm.
Detroit. You feel me?
I think it was the back and forth video, if I ain't
Yeah,
mistaken.
that's what he said. The
Yeah.
back and forth. Oh yeah, and there you go. Yeah.
But what you say now? My joint cut out. What you say now?
Yeah. So no, we were just talking about the simple fact of how everything is like linked, man. And you like how we picked up on what you was talking about, man. Like it's all about who you know.
Yeah.
So we taking it back. So we taking it back to this far, right? So we taking it back from Aaliyah video, from where you get Aaliyah, right? Then
Right.
you get Proof. Then when you get Proof, you get M. And then from when you get M, you get 50. And then from 50, you get, you
And
know
the
what I mean?
game.
Just power and just, you know what I mean? Everything that people, you know what I mean?
See, but how,
And it is levels to shit now, man. That's crazy.
see how energy go though. See when
It's
you
transferred.
Yeah.
when you think about energy, it don't stop. Say for instance, if I say something to you on confidentiality right now,
Right.
that energy is to the universe. So if we don't make a move on that energy, somebody else gonna pick that shit up. And I give you a prime example for that. in the D area, we've been talking like, man, for Shizzle. You know, we've been talking like for Shizzle my Nizzle for the longest. Next thing you know,
Yeah.
household name. You know what I'm saying?
Snoop Dogg, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That shit is all the way on the other side of the globe. It's all over on the motherfucking map. You know what I'm saying? And this is way before we've been saying this shit in the early 90s. And then, you know, this is before Snoop and M even thought about getting together. You know what I'm saying?
So how do you keep yourself grounded, man? Or just like, do that make, like that kind of make you boss up though a little bit, man? Just being around everybody that you know what I mean, like sync that was actually, you know what I mean, you could either lose it or, you know what I mean, or just, you know what I mean?
See, and in this business, in life in general, you are only, it's like when you got a solid general, when you know you only good the person that's leading you in life.
Yeah, you only as good as your leader. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you get to the point where like when Nipsey said he said it best. He was like, damn, you never let a hard time humble you, because that means that you wasn't grounded and you wasn't humble enough in the beginning. But if you stay humble and you stay grounded, you will never have nothing come your way, you know.
Too humble. Yeah.
Right. What I'm saying? So it was always there. Like that's what kept us in like where most people would be like, damn, why the fuck is he in the after hour? Why is he in why he in the streets like that? You know, he made it. Yeah. It's because you to stay connected to the people. When you're a people person, you know what I'm saying, 9 times out of 10, that's where you're going to lose your life at. If you look at any artist, you look at Nipsey Hussle, you look at Tupac, you look at Biggie, you look at all these people. When you, even from Malcolm X to Martin Luther King, when you person of the people, chances are that's where you're gonna, you know,
that's where your hate is at too. Your love and your hate is gonna be sitting side by side most of the times when you go down and you go amongst people that have been your peers before you took off. You got a lot of hate right there because these people wonder why God favored you. You know, and the devil, because they wonder why God favored you, the devil used them to take you out the game if he can, you know. You have to be careful, protect your spirit.
So instead of people seeing you and taking for face value for your
bro, keep going. But we got it though. But yeah, man. So these is like, that's crazy, man. And that's in this
you
part
have to protect
too,
your spirit. I try to tell people that so many
that.
times. Like, I done had so many of my friends and they'll be doing real good in life. And then we'll go somewhere like to a club or something. And the next thing you know, I'm doing CPR on them. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't never know where haters land in the wake when you come down and you in your humble space, you think you safe, you know, a lot of times, but you still got to be on guard because the people that love you the most, sometimes it's also the most jealous. It's always a little love in that, you know, so you have to be the people that's the most jealous of you, love you the most. They're your biggest fans, you know, so you have to be careful of the people that really, really adore you like that, you think adore you like that, because really sometimes they just be jealous, you know, deep down inside.
Yeah, man. So it's like
I'm always leery of people.
And that's right, man. And that's you can't get through it. Sometimes you be bigger than the program. You know what I
mean? Yeah.
Or the program be bigger. So it's like
I learned that so early in life when my father was killed. You know what I mean? The circumstances around his death was just so hateful. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna speak on it because it was internally within family, but it was also, it was kind of like a setup that got my father a hit put on his life and got him took out the game. So very early in life, I learned that you got to watch people that you think love you the most, because sometimes they want to be you, you know what I mean? And in order to be you, they got to take you out the game, you know? So just life will keep you humble just because you experience this. You have to be humble in order to even deal with them and understand them, you know?
Yeah, and that's big ups, man. So yeah, man. Even before that, I appreciate you even coming up on and just chop it up.
I appreciate you having me, man. This is a dope experience. Real dope experience. If I get anybody big, I'm gonna pull you in.
You know how it is, man. We rocking, man. And that's big shout outs to Yacht Life Chronicles too, man.
Yeah.
Had an interview at 7 o'clock anyway, man. So he over there interviewing, man. So you know what I
I'm
mean?
pretty sure I figured that's what it was.
Yeah, he had hit me while he was doing it. You know, we supposed to start at 6, but you know, we up on our little time. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's big
Oh,
ups, man.
you stopped the recording?
No, I ain't stopped
Oh
yet.
no, you didn't stop.
So
it. Okay.
yeah. So but before we leave off, I'm giving him a couple minutes to pop back on. His phone probably died or something. But
I know they just texted me and said they was on their way here. Let me check.
yeah.
Yeah, no, they ain't told me they here yet, but they
Yeah.
should be out here soon. So I'm gonna have to get off soon.
Yeah, so that's cool, man. I appreciate you even for popping on. You can
Man, I
yeah.
most definitely loved it, man. That put a lot of links together in the chain. You know, it was very informative, especially being in a point in time where that's the generation we come from. You know what I mean? I was out in Detroit a lot of times when that stuff was going on, and it's dope to hear. You know what I mean? Really like behind the scenes, what was really going down. You know?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And that's big ups, man. So we gonna keep it G, man. And I appreciate you for even just coming up on the show, man. So
I
with that being
appreciate
said,
being
any
here.
shout outs you want to give before we wrap it up?
Man, shout out to my mans. Man, that was pretty dope of him to even come and come onto the platform like that. I think that's always a beautiful thing for people in a higher level to still look at the people that ain't got there yet.
Yeah.
And to come in and give us that type of opportunity. Those are the things that get us there. So, you know, that's a beautiful thing. Big ups to you for reaching out and not forgetting your people, man, because that's a big and beautiful thing too. That's where love and that's where, you know, God is in there with you, you know.
For sure.
And shout out to Thor Magazine, my co-host Rico
Big shout
Rufino,
out to Thor Magazine,
Al James, Jeremy. Yeah, I love them, man. They're my family, and I appreciate them so much.
Hey, so even with Jeremy Jackson, man, like with Jeremy Jackson, y'all go check out Thor Magazine.
For sure.
And
he definitely got dope articles.
I did the interview with Woolworth Sports, man, with Jeremy Jackson, with Easy, you know what I mean? And that was cool, man. But you know what I mean?
He's got dope articles.
Yeah,
He's got
so that was kind of like that was cool,
dope
man.
footage.
Yeah, so
about 6 podcasts on his network too. We trying to get him into a whole network. I'm gonna try to get him on the Roku, get his own little station on there. You know what I mean? Well, not little station. I don't like to call nothing little, like I always say. His own big station on Roku.
Yeah, because he showed doing it, and then
try to make some connections and get us through there.
Countries, man. And y'all go check him out, man. Like I said, Thor Magazine, man. TDFA podcast, Yacht Life Chronicles podcast. And we all got clothing lines.
Let's Rap. Don't forget us.
Yeah, Let's Rap, man. And look, she's a proud sponsor, man. Just everything. There's so much going on, man. And I appreciate you for coming on, man. Just chopping it up.
I appreciate being had.
Big ups, man, for everything, man. And that was a great interview, man. It's a lot of things that we didn't know that was behind the scenes of just, you know what I mean? That just man, that was interesting, man. I ain't gonna lie. That was a good one, man. So with that being said, man, I just appreciate y'all for rocking with us, man. Y'all continue to rock with us. Y'all continue to subscribe. Go subscribe to Cash Corner, man. You know what I mean? They safe, man. Man. Rap, hey, man. Man, look. Go see.
We have fun.
Hey, go see for yourself what it is, man. So you know what I mean. With that being said, man, it's Mike Donald from TDFA. They don't fucked around. Hey,
and found out.